Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Still sick, because obviously it's still the same recording session, but tattoos! Am I right? Now I've neglected to do any content on tattoos because I forgot. But my girlfriend is a very, very good tattoo artist. I'm covered in tattoos. I've been getting tattooed since I was 18. Hell, I've had so many tattoos, I've even had some lasered off and covered. Actually, by one that my girlfriend did on me, actually. I've even got the side of my skull tattooed that you can't even see most of the time. So I thought with my unique insight into tattoos, the knowledge that I've gained from my tattoo artist girlfriend, and my unbelievable ability to give you my honest opinion at all times, regardless of what people think. What a fantastic combination of things for a tattoo reaction video. So we're gonna go through, we're gonna look at tattoo memes. We're gonna look at people's tattoos that they have, that they've done, that have been done by people, that they're getting done, just basically everything, right? I just typed in tattoo into Instagram Reels, and we're gonna have a look through, because maybe I can start incorporating tattoos into my reactionary content. Hell man, I've nearly had tattoos on my body longer than I haven't had tattoos on my body. I've had moments where I've had to tap out, I've had moments where I've sat the entire time. I think I've had every possible experience that you can really have with tattoos until I start getting weird shit tattooed. Even got a stomach tattoo, look at that. This hurt like hell. Girl, what? Oh, that's right, yeah, chicks get free tattoos all the time because of stuff like this. Seriously, that's a thing. That's a real thing, I forgot about that. That is very, very, very fine line artwork. Now, I've been told, and I've also seen this is also sort of becoming very popular with Gen Z at the moment. Tattoos like this don't really exist with Zoomers anymore. It's usually older folks like myself who get them, but Gen Zs have like this inclination to get really terrible tattoos, like really shit tattoos, like scratchy, on purpose shit tattoos. And that stuff disappears over time, like it does with your hands. If you get your hands tattooed over the knuckles, it tends to come out from wear and tear. Yeah, there's like this fascination with really, really small, thin, tiny, microscopic, thin line, high detail, really small. Like this tree here, like how small that is and how much detail's in that. That shit just, this stuff just does not, it just does not stick around. It doesn't last. Now you might be like, well, I got one like 10 years ago, it still looks great. Fantastic, right? There are people out there who still have an eyebrow piercing from when they were 16, it never grew out, but majority of people, that shit grows out, and majority of people, tattoos like this don't really stick unless you're really, really good. Stick and poke, this is not really something I understand why you would get it, to be honest. I mean, what I have seen as a justification for it, for a lot of cultures out there, they sort of get it as part of their culture, right? Like Maui or whatever. There's like a bunch of islander and tribal cultures out there that did tattoos this way. And if you're part of that culture, then sure, great. But the amount of like pretentious hipster young'uns that get stick and poke, and it's like, you know, they have machines, right? They have machines now. It's like, I'm not impressed if you got a stick and poke. It's like, cool, I just know that you're insufferable, probably. Yeah, I got a stick and poke, it's all stick and poke. It's like, yeah, but they have machines for this now. Why did you? You chose to get the stick and poke because you sniff your own farts. You just sort of like get your stick and poke tattoo while keeping eye contact with the tattoo artist who's doing it, just being like, look how cool I am. Isn't it cool that I'm getting this done? And he's like doing his 80th one of the day, just like, oh yeah. Super cool and original and unique. No one gets this. Just you. Just you, kid. They don't even care about the tattoo itself, right? When they show you, you're just like, wow, cool, yeah, you got a dog's bollocks tattooed on it. It's like, yeah, but that's not even the best part. It's stick and poke, though. It's like stick and poke. It's still a dog's bollocks. It's stick and poke. And it's like, yeah, but, okay, whatever, sure, stick and poke. It's now saved. It doesn't matter what you got or the quality of it. It's the fact that it's stick and poke, congrats. So, as someone who's nailing a tattoo artist, I have access to knowledge that I can corroborate with this story. So Aftercare, and I knew this anyway because I'm a normal human being, But aftercare, if you're not a normal human being and you're a tattoo artist, is incredibly important. The outcome of your tattoo being good or bad, falling out, staying in, being solid, being patchy, is how well you look after it after the tattoo's been done. Now, there is like a process of looking after your tattoo of aftercare with constant cleaning, exfoliating, moisturizing. You basically just need to follow whatever the aftercare is that your tattoo artist has provided you with. Most of the time, it is just wash it, clean it, moisturize it. After a certain amount of time, keep it dry, keep it out of the sun, don't tan with it. Now, you do come across the vast I needed that to be loud. The super vast majority of tattoo artists who are shit. They're shit. They should be nowhere near a tattoo machine. Right? And in these instances, if a tattoo artist is using the wrong needle, the wrong strength, like the wrong speed, if they're not using enough pressure, if they're using too much pressure, if they work an area too much, if they don't work an area enough, if they don't know what they're doing, if they don't have enough experience, or they don't have the desire to develop skills to become a great tattoo artist, then unfortunately that shit's unavoidable. Your aftercare can save what is ultimately a shit tattoo. Seriously, do your research here with tattoo artists, please. Please do. But then again, Zoomers are choosing shit tattoo artists on purpose, and it sucks because then these terrible dog shit tattoo artists go to conventions and act like they're hot shit because they make loads of money, but it's only because Zoomers just pay them for their terrible, terrible tattoos. Because it's like fashionable to get shit tattoos now. So you've got like these terrible fucking artists walking around like they're King Dick, and it's like, no, you're shit, right? But like people want to pay you for your shit. But seriously, look after your tattoos. The aftercare is like super. If you go to a really good artist, if you go to a really great artist, even one, like, especially if you traveled for it and you traveled there, or they have like a really tight schedule, you can only get them if you book in 7 months in advance or something like that, and they're like a famous tattoo artist who does like a very specific style. Look after the tattoo, because it pisses them off to see you not look at and just be a mucky, gross goblin that rolls around in the dirt and sleeps in bed with your dog, and then the tattoo comes out dull or just doesn't stick or it doesn't look as good, and you're like, he wasn't as good as I thought he was. Like, no, you're just a mucky, gross face. Tattooing yourself is a thing I've seen tattoo artists do. A lot of them wouldn't recommend it, but yeah, you can definitely do that. See, this is an example of the kind of like Gen Z Zoomer tattoos that I think are just absolutely horrific. I think they're going to age terribly. They don't look, this just, what is this? Yeah, this dude's covered in that kind of stuff. Not even covered. It looks like a bit of a tatfish, actually. Kind of. See, now that's cool. That takes like skill, experience. Oh yeah, look at that. That's beautiful. That's art. That's actual art, right? It's not a fashion statement. It's not an indicator of your generation. It's art. It's timeless art. People getting art on their bodies. They're not getting fashion pieces like a watch or a pair of shoes. It's like, yeah, I want like gay Zoomer tattoo, please, thanks. It's like, no, this is you're getting artwork put on there that has taken years of experience and development as an artist to be able to do stuff like that. That to me is impressive. That's cool. If I meet someone and they have like, they're covered in tattoos, but they're all like scratchy Zoomer shit tattoos, I bet like I'm not gonna respect. In fact, I'm gonna respect you less than if you had no tattoos, because I know exactly the kind of person you are just seeing that. But let me tell you what a tatfish is. Now, I don't know if this has been defined by somebody else to mean something else, but to me, a tatfish is a label you give to someone, like a tattoo poser, it's kind of thing, but I call it a tatfish, like a catfish. A tatfish is someone who, and it's usually younger idiot kids that do it, they will get like really intricate, crazy throat tattoos, not neck tattoos, throat tattoos, right? So the front, and then they'll get the tops of their hands done, and then nothing else. So they can wear their hoodies, and you can see like their neck and face tattoos and their hands peeking out from the sleeve. But the clothes come off, nothing. That's what they call a tatfish. They don't want to commit to like the full aesthetic of being heavily tattooed and modifying your body in such a way because it hurts or it's too expensive or whatever. Or like a lot of Zoomer kids, they have no patience. It takes a long time to get yourself tattooed fully. It takes years to finish a tattoo piece, which can take months if it's like a really big one. You know, this stuff takes a while, like, you know, saving up the money and finding the right artists and pre-booking these appointments and stuff like that. This stuff takes a long time, especially if you've got like a really bad pain tolerance. It takes a long time. But kids these days, they don't want, it's the instant gratification. They need the instant gratification. What's the fastest way to look like you're heavily tattooed and get that aesthetic that you see on Instagram all the time? Oh, that's right. Get your hands tattooed and your throat and like pose like this, right? With your sleeves up so people can just see your throat and your hands. So you look heavily tattooed. It's what they call a tatfish. Because once social media became a thing and this like heavily tattooed aesthetic and the hands and the throat and the face tattoos became like a big thing, that was kind of what people wanted to get, but not the hard way, not the long way. Not the cool way, just as fast as humanly possible. So if you're one of these people that are a tatfish, I have an insight for you here, okay? Everybody thinks what I'm thinking. Nobody's impressed. People see the hands and the throat and nothing else, and they go, tatfish. They're not even thinking of the word tatfish because I thought of it. Maybe I didn't think of it. I don't know. Whether or not they're thinking of the word, they're thinking of the concept. They're thinking, you absolute cop-out poser. They can tell. They can tell. They'll see just the hands and throat, and they'll think that. Regardless if they know the word tatfish or not, they're thinking it. They're not impressed. No one is. People are just being too nice because you've permanently inked your body. There's nothing you can do about it. So they can't. So they're not going to be like, yeah, but like. So yeah, there are tattoo posers now. There are tattoo posers now. They're called tatfishes. Off. That's terribly done. It's done really bad, but it doesn't matter. That's horrendous. From concept to execution, that's, oh God. But I tell you what, man, this guy's gonna be the life of the party. You know this. He now is going to get more vagina in his life because he has this done. There is going to be more vagina now available to him in the world because this is on him. It's just silence. There's not even music in this. What the This is like the bare minimum of production for a skit.
Alright.
Wow, yeah, really. Jesus Christ. Well, at least they got the ring light in there.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so there are huge differences between the way people sit for tattoos and how people deal with them. And yes, fellas, there is a disproportionate amount of women who deal with tattoos far, far better than men do. But don't get that twisted, ladies. It doesn't mean you're super cool and amazing and sick. It's because women have to give birth, which next to sperm cramps that we get, fellas, right? Is the most insane amount of pain a human being naturally has to go through ever. So that's why women's pain threshold is so much higher than ours, because they have to do that shit. But I think sperm cramps are probably second place though, right boys? They're quite bad. Women have to go through that shit, which is why they can sit for tattoos. The same way women need to give men credit for being funny, okay? We're the funny ones. We're the funny ones, ladies. Some of you can be funny. It doesn't mean as a gender, you're funny. Men need to give women this, okay? You can be like the toughest Marine ever or like a Navy SEAL or an SAS or something like that, or a big bodybuilder dude. You eat bricks. You eat cinder blocks for breakfast. You're tough. But you're not going to sit as well, typically. You're not going to sit as well, typically, as a woman does. As someone who is going out with a female tattoo artist who has tattooed many women and has been in a tattoo shop where men are also being tattooed and has also tattooed men over the last 10 years, not only her, but also her colleagues will also corroborate with this as well. There is a big difference between the way men and women sit, okay? It's not the same. I'm fine with this. Tattoos hurt like hell, and so does childbirth. I'm fine. And yet I'm still covered. Give me credit for that, ladies. Only this was done with numbing cream. This new one, and this new one on the inside. Only those two were done with numbing cream, and that's it. And my shin. This is like a recent development. I only recently started doing it because I'm not trying to prove anything to anybody. I don't really care. As long as I just want to get the tattoo finished, all right? I've paid my dues, okay? I've sat through enough tattoos without any pain relief. I feel like in my 30s, I feel like I have enough equity to squander here.
Check out my new tattoo, Jumpin' Jerry. Watch as I'm gonna fling him. Bling! Oh, Jay! Bow! All right, Jerry. Oh,
my... excellent use of tattoo, seriously. Telling a story. It's got a whole joke to it. All black tattoos. So this is another thing I need to talk about as well. So there are people who say, you know, tattoos do hurt. There's people who say tattoos don't hurt. Now, this can be like a difference between someone with a high pain tolerance and a low pain tolerance. It's also where they get it, right? Some people get like a tattoo on the outside of the forearm here, and they're like, yeah, tattoos are fine. It's like, yeah, because you got like the least painful part of your body tattooed. However, if you get here done, like on your wrist or like in the webbings of your fingers like I have here, or like down your fingers, or your stomach tattooed, or the backs of your thighs, the insides of your arm, then it's going to hurt significantly more. Another factor of how much tattoos can actually hurt is whether or not the tattoo is intricate. It's going to take a long time. Some people will only need to sit for 2 hours, and they're like, yeah, it didn't start to hurt. I'm like, yeah, because you don't start to fight for your life with a tattoo until about 3, maybe 4 hours in, right? The first part's fine. The real actual struggle with sitting for a tattoo, for me in my experience, because I always, like, every time I start to feel like the pain reaching a level that I have to like lock in, I always check how long I've been sitting. Roughly, it's between 3 to 4 hours. After that amount of time, and they've been working on it for that long, and all my tattoos are huge, so they've all been over this amount of time. The first 3 hours, fine. After that, after 3 hours, it is a slow, painful hill into absolute agony. And it basically just becomes a game of how long can you sit at this horrendous level of pain. So the bigger the tattoo, or the more intricate, the longer it needs to be worked on. That's another factor for how painful a tattoo can be, because if you're only sitting for like an hour, maybe 2 hours, 2.5 hours, that you're fine. That's not going to hurt. Now, obviously, combine a painful area with a long tattoo. Now you've got two factors of pain that are different from someone else's experience. Here's the third and final factor. Color tattoos. This is what I was referring to with her all black tattoos. Black tattoos typically hurt way less. Once the black ink is in there and you've done your lines and you've filled it in, you're done. You're fine. You don't need to go back and rework an area, right? So a full black tattoo is not going to be as agonizing to sit through as a full color tattoo, and I'm going to tell you why. Once an area is done, an area is done. You don't need to keep switching out needles, and well, you do if you're doing different lines and stuff like that, but you don't need to keep switching out to different colors. You don't need to be blending colors. You don't need to change needle to switch to another to get a different ink color to then go back. So there's that factor. But it's also the fact that if you're getting a colored tattoo, you will work your way down or work your way around one color or the line work or something. Then you need to go back over with one shade of color and put that in. Then you'll need to get the other shade of color to then go over that for shading and shadows and stuff like that. And then you need to go back over it again with the highlight, like whites and lighter colors, which is why people think white ink hurts way more. It's mainly because it's only ever done last. It's the highlights, which is why people think white hurts more. You don't typically put white highlights on black tattoos. Once your skin has been shredded to pieces from like 6 hours of reworking the same section over and over again, adding new colors and different shades and blending and all that kind of stuff, then the artist has to go through with a very thin liner and do highlights. When someone says a tattoo doesn't hurt, find out what tattoo they got and where. But even people with high pain tolerances will tell you that like a large full color tattoo in a painful spot sucks dick. It sucks ass. Low or high pain threshold, they will tell you, yeah, that was me pushing myself to my limits. But leave your tattoo story down below in the comments. I had a great day today because I made it a great day, and I'll catch you all next time. Bye bye.